Hey guys, welcome back to Masters of the Griddleverse. I'm Chris, back with my lovely assistant, my granddaughter, Mayana. So we are 2.5 weeks away from the big football game that's going to be happening. What better snack to make for you friends and family than pretzels with a beer cheese dipping sauce? So that's what we're doing today. First, you start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, we're going to add some sugar and salt. All of the measurements and stuff will be listed down below. You want to pour the sugar and salt in? Pour it in there. Okay. Yep, dump it all in. All right. Yeah. Next, we have our yeast. You dump that in. Good job. Should we get it all? There we go. Fumbled, just like Josh Allen and CJ Stroud. Next, we have a tablespoon of melted butter. You want to dump the butter in? Yeah. Okay. Yep, dump the butter in. Good job. And then last, we have some warm water. You want this, I got this part. You want it between 100 and 110 degrees. If you're not quite sure, basically what bath water feels like. That's kind of how you want it. All right, once you get all those in, pop in your stand mixer, and we're going to start mixing everything up. Now, once this starts becoming a dough, then you want to crank the speed up to medium-low and let it knead for 5 minutes. So, let this mix up for a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so the dough has kind of come together as much as it could. I did add a couple more tablespoons of water just because it was really, really dry. So now we're going to do is we're going to crank this up to a medium-low speed. This is going to knead for the next 5 minutes. All right, guys, so it's been about 5 minutes. We're going to cut this off. Can you grab me that bowl right there, hon? Just lay it here. It is sprayed down with some cooking spray so there's no stickage. Get this off the dough hook.
It's stuck.
It is stuck. Now you just want to kind of make sure that everything is nice.
Can I see?
See how nice and smooth? Smooth, huh?
Yeah.
Make sure everything's kind of nice and incorporated. You want to put that in the bowl?
Yeah.
You can just drop it in there. Just drop it in. Yeah. Coat it around. Get all the sides nice and coat it in that cooking spray. And then we're going to take some cling wrap. You are seeing. Stretch it across. Make sure it is nice and covered and sealed.
And the bugs don't get it?
Just like that. Yep, so the bugs don't get it. And this way, it seals in all the heat so this can rise. We need this to rise for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, okay? All right, so put this in a area that is kind of warm, draft-free. We're going to let this sit for 30 minutes. And through the magic of television, dough has magically risen, almost doubled. It has been roughly 40-ish minutes. So let's get the plastic wrap off. Now, before we get going on to the next step, because these things are going to take a little bit of time, first thing, go ahead and set your oven to 450 degrees. That is either 3 inches from Florida or 3 inches from the sun, however you see it. You also want to get 6 cups of water and a 1/3 cup of baking soda going to a light boil. So what that's going to do is that's going to give our pretzels a nice golden shine and nice, not crisp, but a good exterior texture. So let's get this dough out of the bowl, and that's just a little bit of oil that was left over from the bowl. So if you are making the traditional twist pretzels, you're going to cut this into 6 equal parts. Yeah, that's it. I am not that talented, so I'm going to cut this into 12 parts. I'm going to be doing some pretzel sticks. So there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're going to do 10 equal.
That's
8. We're going to do 8 equal parts using kind of big pretzel sticks.
Math is not a strong suit of pretzels.
I do not math very well. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to roll these out into some snakes. Kind of get them even. Also, you're going to feel a lot of air in here, so kind of get the air out. The recipe I got off the intro net did not say to punch the dough before you took it out of the bowl, so I did not. So because I'm a guy and my measurements are never correct, that looks like about 12 inches, right, hon?
It looks like about 6 inches.
You've been lied to your entire life, so you're always overcompensating for things.
Get some shrinkage happening there, bud.
It's gonna shrink a little bit. Does that look about good?
Sure, we'll go with it.
All right. Next, what you want to do is you want to get you a rimmed baking sheet or rimmed cookie sheet. We're gonna spray it down with some cooking spray so it doesn't stick.
That's an old baking sheet.
Yeah, that's a baking sheet that should probably have been left in 2020. But you know, times are tough, stuff happens. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do these for the remaining 6, well, not counting the one in my hand, remaining 6 pieces of dough. And I bring it back once I get done rolling like Fred Durst. I turned the temperature down, but the water and baking soda was up to a heavy boil, so I brought it down, so it should come up to a light boil here in just a second. What you're gonna do now is you want to take your pretzel. We tried to make a regular twisted pretzel. That's mine. Don't look at Candy's. So what you want to do now with a either a slotted spatula or something, you want to drop this in your water. This is going to, you want this to soak in here for about 15 seconds. Again, this is going to get that nice golden brown exterior. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15.
Like a bath.
Just like a bath. Quick little bath. Get as much of the water off as you can, like so. Put it back down onto your oiled rimmed baking sheet. Now, once it's on there, you want to brush with your egg wash. Yeah, I'm trying to do like 15 million things to this, so kitchen right now is a little bit of a mess. Once you have your egg wash on there, if you choose to do so, we have some coarse sea salt. That's that big flaky salt. Let's go ahead and sprinkle some on top. Like so. Now, you are going to do this for all of the pretzels you have made. It's going to go to your 450-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. While they're in there cooking, we're going to show you how to make a delicious beer cheese dipping sauce. See you in a few. All right, so now we're going to start with the beer cheese. What you need to do is grate up 2 cups of any kind of cheddar. We're going to give her a turn.
You won't get a turn.
You want to get your stool? Go get your stool. No, get your stool. I got one more block ready for you to go. So I went ahead and I pre-shredded most of the cheddar. So again, that is 2 cups of cheddar. We're gonna come over here. Yep, there you go. And this is the last part, 1 cup of Gruyere cheese. So you want to turn it this way. Yeah, you gotta use your muscles. Yeah, you got it. Keep going. Keep going, you're going good.
Oh, you're gonna have big muscles.
There you go. Good job.
Big
You
old
got it.
cheese grating muscles.
All right, that's it. I'm just gonna get the last little bit that's in here. Like that. Huh? You can go get your juices over there. All right, so once you get all of your cheddar and your Gruyere, French is hard for me, your French cheese shredded up, let's go over the stove and we'll get this thing started. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left on this, so we got to kind of work a little fast. Pretzels are in the oven. They're getting GBD, which is golden brown and delicious. So we're going to start with a 1/4 cup of butter. Get that melted down. What y'all doing? You doing pretty good? Ready for some whiskey business?
Oh.
Once this is going, you're going to add same amount of flour. This is a 1/4 cup of flour.
You're making a roux.
Basically make it through. Get this mixed together. You want the butter and the flour all combined. I'm going to cut this way down. Let that cook out for a second. So once you let this cook for about 3-5 minutes, here we have some mustard powder, some onion powder, and some garlic powder. Again, see? Quantities will be down in the comments below with the recipe. Get this mixed in. You want to let this cook in for about 30 seconds. That's about 30 seconds. All right, to that, we're going to add 3/4 cup of milk and 1 cup of whichever beer you have left over from like 2 4th of Julys ago. Mazel tov. Also, you want a 1/4 teaspoon of Wash Your Sister sauce. Give that all a nice little mix. Make sure we get all of the bits off the bottom of this. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to let this come to a simmer and make it nice and thick. Then we're going to add in our cheeses. But here in 15 seconds, we got some pretzels to take out. 2, 1. Let's see how they look, guys. My hands are not working today. Golden brown, yummy. These ones split open. Don't look at these ones. So when we rolled out the dough, I noticed there was some air pockets in there. So that's why these ones split open. Now, once they come out of the oven, immediately onto a cooling rack. All right, guys. So as you can see, cheese is starting to come up to a simmer. Sorry, the roux come up to a simmer. What you want to do now is add about 1/3 of your cheese, shredded cheese mixture. You want to do this 1/3 at a time, so that way it doesn't just get all one giant clump of cheese. Make sure it is all nice and blended in and completely melted before you move on to the next step, which is basically just keep doing this for the rest of the cheese you have. And then for most of those pretzel sticks, I did have to pop them back in the oven. Like my wife elegantly said to me, they did look a little light. Not all of them, just a couple of them. I think it's because I had so many on that one pan, they just kind of clumped together and didn't cook quite all the way. So those were popped back in the oven for another 2 minutes to hopefully get GBD. And if you have dogs or grandkids, you probably are going to have to pay them the cheese tax. I know our 4-year-old, Miss Mayana, who was helping me earlier, she loves her some shredded cheese. Gray, my big dog, loves him some cheese. Sasha, who probably shouldn't have any, loves her some cheese. Sasha's my little dog, our little dog. All right, let's get this melted. Guys, we are almost done. If you think your cheese is a little too thick, you can always, of course, add a touch more milk. All right, so we did come back and decide to add just a tablespoon or two of milk. Hopefully just to thin it out a little bit. All right, come over here. Let's test out on some pretzels. Grab one of my pretzel sticks. Nice, fully cooked, soft, fluffy in the middle. Mmm. My beer cheese pretzel dance. Pretzels are delicious. They're nice. Almost crisp on the inside, on the outside. Nice and fluffy on the inside. That cheese dip is great. I probably would still add another, maybe tablespoon or two of milk just to thin it out a little bit. But that, guys, if you bring this to your big game party, I can't use the word that starts with S and B because it's copyrighted. You can be a huge hit. So, until next time, guys, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good fun stuff. Make sure you say hi to Mayana in the comments, and thank you to my beautiful wife for filming. But until next time, guys, thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you later.